Kakarot, you insolent fool! You dare stand against this Saiyan Prince? Ha! Let me tell you the tale how I, Saiyan Prince Vegeta, grace your pathetic little planet with my presence. This is the story of how I almost turned Earth into the space dust, and how I, Prince of all Saiyans, had to endure the sheer insult of your existence. Picture this. The Saiyan Prince descending upon your backwater planet. I came for one thing, your DragonBallZ. But what do I find? A motley crew of nobodies? A green slug who dared to call himself a warrior? A bad midget with power level that wouldn't scare a Cyberman? And a 5-year-old kid looking at me like I stole his childhood or something. This was the resistance Earth has to offer. Pathetic. Seriously, was it too much to ask for a proper challenge? Instead, I got a worm who was blown away by a Cyberman, and a giant exploding for his boyfriend. Still, I decided to humor them. After all, every ruler needs a moment to toy with their subjects. But little did I know, there was Kakarot, Saiyan embarrassment who had somehow found a way to surpass his low-class limits. But I am Vegeta, Prince of all Saiyans. Did I let my irritations show? Of course not. I simply reminded myself that I was better. I was better than him. Every time, everywhere, and in every circumstance. Though I will admit it, the frustration was simmering. And the twist came in form of Kakarot's absurd power. The battle began and I was ready to crush these insects under my boot. Kakarot and his pitiful allies didn't stand a chance, or so I thought. But then he used Kaioken. What is this ridiculous, absurd Earthling technique? The sheer audacity that the low-class clown dared to push me, the Prince of all Saiyans, to my limit. Do you know what that does to a Saiyan's pride? It's like being served cold soup at a royal banquet. Utterly unacceptable, and yet I'll admit it, it lit a fire in me. I wasn't going to let some clown make a mockery out of the Saiyan Prince, the Prince of all Saiyans. So I unleashed my trump card, the Great Ape transformation. Surely no one could even stand against the might of my Uzaru form. Not even the Ginyu Force. I was winning. I was about to kill Kakarot. But then, a fat-ass Earthling who is as relevant as your father cut off my tail. I'll never forget the sheer indignity of it all, reduced back to my base form. But the worst was yet about to come. That Yamcha's child transformed into a great ape too. Have to fight all of them at once. I managed to overpower them all and cut off the child's tail. But then he decided to crush me, and that was humiliating. And there I was, the mighty Saiyan Prince, forced to crawl back to my pod, bruised and humiliated, battered by the ragtag group of misfits and Kakarot. Oh, Kakarot, that smirk on his face. It was enough to make my Saiyan blood boil. And what's the worst, they let me go. Kakarot let me go, as if I needed his pity, as if I couldn't have obliterated them all if I wasn't about to pass out from exhaustion. The Prince of all Saiyans retreating like a common coward. It's a disgrace I'll never forget. But let's make one thing clear. That day may have ended in frustration and agony, but it was far from end of my story. A Saiyan's pride never dies, and neither does his thirst for fighting. Mark my words, Kakarot. I'll return stronger, faster, and more powerful than ever. And when I do, you'll regret the day you crossed Prince Vegeta. But that's the day for another day. So what have you learned today, Earthlings? That I'm superior, obviously. That Kakarot is a thorn in my side, absolutely. But more importantly, that day I first visited Earth was a day your planet will never forget, and neither will I. Now subscribe to this channel, or I'll personally come down there and show you true power of a Saiyan Prince